Hello guys, welcome to the next session of new evolving world of Dynamics CRM. Today I'm going to talk about a feature which came in Dynamics CRM 2013 Service Pack1 called Entitlement. Entitlement is used to manage service support term for the customers. If you remember in one of our previous session I have talked about that how entitlement can be used to select right kind of service level agreement for the customers. Today we are going to talk the other things and feature around entitlement. So we'll skip the SLA part, but we'll talk about the other features. So let's start into it. As usual, I have a very simple prerequisite from my audience. As long as you understand how Dynamics CRM 2011 or any of the above version work in terms of navigation, in terms of basic configuration, you're good to go. You're good to go and and watch this video. So if you have it, let's move ahead. I will start with the business scenario, okay, and we'll try to see that how entitlement can help in such scenario. So there is a guy who wants to purchase a used car, what we call also second-hand car. So he goes to a car reseller agency, pays some money, and after paying that money, he gets a second-hand or used car. When he buys this car, agency offers him some support term. So support term from the agency is a service term from the agency is that this guy is entitled for 3 free services, these 3 free services this person can avail at the service center of the buying agency. But if the person goes to any other branch of the agency for free service, he can go maximum 2, not more than that. Okay, so at the buying agency he can have all 3, but any other agency you can have maximum 2, not more than that. So that's the kind of service support term with agency offers anyone who purchases used or second-hand car from this agency. Now we are going to implement this particular scenario using entitlement in Dynamics CRM. Okay. So what we will do, if we try to understand the big picture, is how entitlement will be used in this case. First of all, what we will do that we will go and create an entitlement template which will define the support term. So we'll try to configure the rules of the engagement over here. Then based on that template, there is an entitlement created for the customer. That means if I'm buying a car, then there's one entitlement or support term created for me, and based on that, the agency will manage the support term with the customer. Creating an entitlement template is not mandatory. You can directly go and create an entitlement for the customer, but it is advisable to use template because with template you can define a rules of engagement one time and then reuse it across the customer who take support or who are provided support based on a predefined template. So let's go and see demo of it, and then it will make more sense. What I have done to implement it, that I have done some basic. I have taken the CRM online instance and done some basic configuration changes over here. So the one change which I have done is that if you go to any case page, the case page has a field called origin. Okay, call origin, where you can go and see information like from where the call has been originated or this ticket has been originated. And generally you will find out of box field as email or phone or Facebook or Twitter. What I have done is that I have renamed the origin field to agency, and I have changed the value of this option set to say selling agency and the other agency. Why I have done that? Because in entitlement you can define support term using the origin of the case, and in this case, since my business logic is around where I avail the service, I have simply renamed the origin to agency, and have customized the value inside that. Not very sophisticated. Yes, if you're not happy, I'm with you, but that's what I had to do to make it work for the particular scenario I'm showing you. Okay. Now, what I do, first we'll go to service management. So if you go to the setting, and from setting you click on the service management, you get this page. So if you remember the first step we talked about, we go and create the entitlement template. So here I go and create a entitlement template. So I create new, and I will say free service support template. Of course you have to provide a start date and end date. So let me take some previous date and some future date, right? Of course he will provide probably 2 year or 3 year kind of time period over here, depending on from when to when this kind of support is available. Okay. Now next is, do you want to restrict based on entitlement term? So in this section you can define the entitlement terms, and I will come to that. This field you configure to decide that do you want to put any restriction in terms of entitlement term. That means when entitlement terms are complete, do you want to end the support? If that kind of restriction you want to put, you say yes, otherwise you say no. Generally, yeah, if you're defining a term for the entitlement or term for the support, you want to restrict based on that. So I will say yes. SLA I will not touch today, so because I have done a specification where I have talked about how SLA and entitlement can work together to select the right kind of SLA for the customer. So this part I will not talk today. You provide some description, which I'm leaving right now. Then I can go and see that what could be different allocation type. That means on what I want to define my entitlement term. The term can be defined based on number of cases or number of hours. That means you tell customer that I will support you for say 100 cases, or in this case probably 3 cases, 3 free service cases. Or it could be number of hours that I will support you for say 40 hours or 80 hours and that kind of thing. In our case, we will use number of cases, because what we want to restrict is for 3 free services. So I go and select the number of cases. Then how do I decrease my term? That means suppose I say okay, I give you 3 free service. Now when does this 3 free service become 2 remaining service? Should I do that when my case is created, or should I do that when my case is resolved? Okay, so there are 2 things you can do: case created, case resolved. That means as soon as the case is created, you simply go and decrease the term number by 1, or you want to do it when the case is actually closed and resolved. For now, I will simply go and say case creation, just to save time for a demo. Otherwise, I have to create the case and resolve it, then only it will decrease the number. Okay, just to keep it. I'm a little lazy today. Total terms, I will say 3. Okay. So I define the total term as 3. Now, just to give you information, in case you select for total number of hours, then you give, in total term, you give the total number of hours over here. And how does the hours are reduced? Hours are reduced depending on how much time you have spent on the cases for the customer. And that time is calculated from the time of creation of the case to time of resolution of the cases. Okay. And that's how it works. So just for your information, I'm going to provide you a resource where you can get all these details about the various combinations. But if I stick back to my demo, I select number of cases equal to 3, and then my term cases, like total my free service, one prop, okay. I will reduce my terms, or I will reduce number of remaining services to the customer depending on the case creation thing. Okay, so when the case is created, one free case free service case created, I will reduce my term from 3 to 2. 2 are remaining, kind of thing. Okay, so let's go, and rest I cannot modify unless I save it. So let's go and save it first. Now when I save it, it gives me a few more things. So for instance, I can go and add the entitlement channels. Now in entitlement channels, you can see the origin field. So that's why I showed you the case over here, that there you have a you have something called origin. This origin you can see here listed. So here you can put additional configurations saying that okay, fine, I will support, if I take the out of box case entity, I will support say 10 cases over email, 13 cases over web, 20 cases over phone, and so on. Okay, so you can do that. So additional condition you can put, but only on the origin of the cases. I know that you might want to put some condition on the subject or various other fields, but right now that is not possible. So if you call it a limitation of entitlement, I will agree to that. I mean, it is a good start, but is this something like to my expectation? Unfortunately, no. But let's come back to our demo again. So I go and add a channel over here first. So you can see selling agency. Now, so here what I'm configuring is that how much you can do, how many free services you can get with the selling agency. So I say I can get 3 with my selling agency, and then how much with the how many with the other agency. So I'll say maximum 2 with the other agency. Now here, keep in mind, you cannot put number more than total terms. So you cannot put say 4 and say save it. It should throw error saying no, your channel entitlement cannot be more than total entitlement. So because your total term is 3, so you cannot have 4. You can have maximum 3 for a channel. Okay, so I'll make it back to. So keep in mind, it doesn't mean, okay, hopefully it should go and solve the problem. Okay, why it is not taking it? Okay, let's delete it. Okay, come on. Okay, let me add again, and I say other agency will be 2. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so you can see I have defined this. I have defined this the tenure, and then I'm saying I'm restricting it for the terms. I've defined the condition for the terms. I have also distributed my term across my channels. So one thing to keep in mind, that it doesn't mean that the guy is entitled for 5 now. No, he is entitled for maximum 3, but he can, for instance, from selling agency he can get all 3, but from other agency he can get maximum 2, not more than that. So still the restriction is on the maximum number 3. If I select a product over here, then this entitlement is applicable for that product only. But if I don't select any product over here, then it is for all the products which from the agency. So I will not put any product over here and simply say okay, save it. So my template is ready now. Now if I go to service management again and go to the entitlement, let me create an entitlement for a customer. So I go and say from the template. Okay, I can go and create a blank also. In that case, I have to fill all the fields again, which I don't want to do because I have already done that. So I select on create from the template. I support this one template we have just created. Now I put here the name. So I will say free service support for a dot datum. Okay, so a datum is my customer. I select my customer a datum. Now you can see here that it has automatically populated rest of the values, so that's a benefit you get. To my surprise, it has not taken the channel, so I'm not sure that's a bug or not, but let me save it and hopefully it should solve the problem for me. Okay, so once I save it, it picks up the channel as well. So I was not aware, in fact I just saw this behavior right away. So you can see now once you save it for the customer, it also shows you that what is the remaining terms. That means he can avail 3 services and all 3 are there, they had not been used, and also shows the remaining term at the channel level or at the origin level. Now here one additional thing you can do, that you can go and configure the contact. That means you configure it when you say that, okay, I want to avail this entitlement, but only when this person contacts me, not for everyone. If you don't provide any contact name over here, that means this entitlement or this support term is available for anyone who is contacting from this customer. Okay, so I think we are all set. I can simply go and activate it. So I have defined my template. Now I'm going to activate it. That makes it read only. Now what I will do, that I will go to my cases and I'll create my first case. So first thing I will go and select is my customer, and this is none other than a datum. As soon as I select him, it shows me what entitlement this customer has got. I will say this is free service 1. So suppose customer contacted to avail the first free service. Now in the agency, I can go and select, okay, this my agency is, say, this time he came to some other agency. Okay, so let's start with other agency. So I do that, then I select my entitlement. Again, it does not automatically select me. I will love to have this kind of feature where I can define a rule to automatically select an entitlement, but it does not happen that way, so I have to manually select it. So I simply go save and close it. Okay, so one case I have created, so one free service this guy has, this customer has availed from other agency. Now suppose this guy comes for second service. So again, this a datum comes for the other second service. Now you can see the this entitlement has got remaining term as 2. That means one free service you have already availed, Mr. Customer, and in the rule we have defined that it was on the create case. That's why it has deducted it. If I have defined rule that reduce the term based on case resolution, then this term will reduce only when my case is in the resolved stage, not when it is active or in progress. Okay, but I just to save time, I kept the rule like that. Now I say this is my my second service, second free service. So I save it. Then I select my agency. Again, I'm going for other agency because I want to see a boundary condition for that. From other agency you can avail maximum 2, not more than that. So I want to test it once. Then I select my support entitlement term here, support term here, and save and close. Now, if I go and create another case, and this is again for this a datum, and again you can see that as expected, that remaining term is 1 now. Now if I go here and say, okay, this is my third service, and agency I select as other agency again, okay, and then I select my entitlement. Now if I save it, my other agency, from other agency I can avail maximum 2 free services, not more than that. So if I try to save it, it should show me an error. So if I save it, it shows, okay, I cannot associate this case to this entitlement because there is no available term for this channel. So it's not very friendly message. It's still kind of technical message, but yeah, but this is more of training thing. So I cannot avail another free service from other agency because there are maximum 2 services I can avail as per my rules defined. So now I am forced to go and select my selling service here because I still have one term left to me which I can avail from my selling service, because my selling service can give me up to 3 services, right? So I simply save and close it. Okay, and it works for me. Now suppose I try to go and customer goes and says, you know what, I want to select the I want to go for 4th service. Okay, so when you say this is my 4th service, and no matter I mean your terms are 0, so actually you cannot avail now the 4th free service using this entitlement. So you can go for free service using some other entitlement or through a normal case or normal service procedure, but you cannot avail this free service entitlement anymore. And let's try to do it. Let me say, okay, selling service, and try to save it. It will show me that no, I cannot do it because my term had expired, because maximum 3 free services were available to me. So this is an example that how you can define some kind of support term from the customer for the customer, and how using entitlement you can enforce that. Again, if you talk about that and what is my impression about this feature, this is a good feature, but it is not there yet. I mean, right now what I can define my support term is based on number of hours I spend on the cases or number of cases, and also and then further set of rule on the origin of the cases. Support terms in real world could be very complex, and they can use very complex rules and business logic to define the boundary of the support or define the rules of engagement for the support. Entitlement at present does not scale to those kind of things, so probably you have to go some kind of custom built solution around it. But if I try to see on the good side, entitlement is a very wonderful thing to use with SLA. So if I have multiple SLA defined and I want to make sure that I apply right kind of SLA for the customer depending on what kind of service request what kind of service I'm providing, entitlement could be a great thing to select right SLA for the customer. So from that point of view, I like entitlement. So entitlement with SLA, love it. But entitlement alone, I'm okay. But I will expect more in coming days. Okay. So let's go back to our presentation, and so let's start from here again. Okay. So what else you can do? So you can cancel your entitlement and you can renew it. So cancel means entitlement, if the tenure is complete, we provided a start date and end date. Once your end date finishes, your entitlement expires. In between, you can cancel entitlement. Just in case your contract is violated due to some reason, you can go and cancel the entitlement. Okay. Expired and cancelled entitlement can be renewed, but when you renew it, actually what happens is that it creates another draft copy of the same instance of the entitlement, which you can then go and change in terms of start date, end date, and terms and those kind of things, and then activate again. So that's how it works. So let's go and quickly see that as well. So if I come back to my demo instance, service management, and go to entitlement. So let me force cancel it. So I'm not sure if I can cancel the activated one, but let's try. Okay, I can cancel it. So it get cancelled. Now if I want to go and renew it, it will simply open my entitlement in draft mode. So entitlement open in the draft mode. Now I can go and change my terms and everything, and then boom, if I save it, it will renew for me. Okay, so you can do that. Coming back to my presentation, as I said earlier, that entitlement is a very good thing to use if with SLA actually. In fact, we are using it in a couple of engagements where entitlements are used to select right kind of SLA for the customer. But so if you want to learn more about it, actually I have another video in my channel which you can go and see that how entitlement can be used to select the right kind of SLA for the customer. Okay, moving ahead, we talked about terms, and we said that the terms reduce or decrease depending on case creation or case resolution. Now there are some further things which affect increase and decrease, and that I thought I will talk about it to give some insight about that. So let's take a scenario where my term is on number of cases, and it is for the case creation. So if the term is whether number of cases or hours of the cases. In both cases, if the term is case creation, that means on the case creation you want to increase or decrease. What happens whenever the case is created or updated with the associated entitlement, the term decreases. Okay, but when you cancel the case, the term will increase, because probably you would have created the case by fault and you want to cancel and do away with that. In that case, it will increase by 1. If you are reactivating a cancel case, that means probably accidentally you cancelled it, but you want to say, oh, no, I have to work on that, and you reactivate it. That means case becomes live again, and in that case, that entitlement term decreases again. So there are certain things you should be should be aware of. Similarly, if I go and talk about case resolution, if my increase and decrease is based on case resolution, then when the case is resolved, it decreases the entitlement term by 1. But if someday I reactivate the resolved case, then it will increase my entitlement term by 1. So what I'm trying to say here is that in the second part, especially when you reactivate, is that suppose, it's kind of stopping people to just resolve the case for the sake of expiring for the sake of decreasing the entitlement. So if by accident or by intention you have resolved it, but the case has not solved the purpose, you can always go back and reactivate it, and when reactivated, it will increase your entitlement term by 1. So it gives that currency back to you. Okay. Now in terms of resources, actually again the good part is that use this link on MSDN on Microsoft site, read through the detail, and it will give you everything you need to know about entitlement, all on one page. So I thought I will share this link with you so that you can go and talk and study about some more details, which probably I could not cover in my session today. That's it for now. It was very small demo just to show you the power of entitlement. Again, I'm repeating it again and again, but I'm happy to use entitlement, but mostly with SLA. Entitlement alone is still in early stages, and again, it's my personal opinion. Okay, thank you very much for watching this. Please provide your feedback to allow me to or to suggest me to make improvement to my videos. Please subscribe to channel, keep watching, and I will keep making such wonderful videos. Thank you very much. Bye bye.